Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Cosplay Cafe. I would say we're serving up a hot, steaming cup of cosplay, but we're down in the South for all of us here today. We don't need anything hot. Instead, grab you a glass of sweet tea, watch our credits, and then we'll get back into our show.
I'm too sexy for my cosplay. I'm too sexy for my cosplay. On Cosplay Cafe. Yeah, I'm a cosplayer. You know what I mean. And I do my little turn on the con floor. Yeah, on the con floor. Oh, on the con floor. Yeah, I do my little turn on the con floor. And I'm too sexy for my cosplay. I'm too sexy for my cosplay. On Cosplay Cafe. And I'm too sexy for this song.
Right, everybody, welcome again. Tonight we are going to be discussing a topic we've hit once before, but it means a lot to a lot of us. And that's being an older cosplayer, an over 30 cosplayer. So first, you kind of get a little double treat tonight. Kelly is traveling. Crayley is taking a little sabbatical. So I have a special guest host with us tonight who has been on the show a couple of times. This is my other half, like Kelly and Crayley are each other. This is my bestie, Hunter Chick.
Hello. It is an honor
Thank you for joining us. This is your third time on the show, I think.
Yeah, at least on the camera's end of things, yeah.
Yes. So everybody here tonight is over 30. We're not the babies. We already even have a comment. Already says older cosplayers in the chat. We love it from Toria. Love the play on the Tora name. Love that. And we already also have a hello from Penn. But so while we cover those little comments, our guest, Hunter and I met her at Memphis Comic Expo 2 years ago. 2 years, I think. We were judging the cosplay contest. And the first thought was we were literally about to do a D&D episode of the show, and she was wearing her keyleth, and I'm like, can I please share this picture of this on the show, because it was absolutely gorgeous. And since then, we have become friends with Eileen, Rangers and Arrows. So I'm just going to go ahead and put her beautiful face up on the screen so you guys can all see her.
Hello, everybody. Hi.
And I've already promised you, you're going to get an ego boost. It's going to be a huge ego boost tonight.
It's already starting.
That's what we're here for. We got a couple more comments. I think our chat's already busy tonight from good friend of the show, Mark Desjardins. Bonjour from Fort Wayne, as always. Remember, age is an internet rumor. Still don't believe there's a country named Turkey. And then we have Charlie Man, older cosplayer spouse in the chat. Also 30 plus, ain't even that old. And you are so right. That is young. And we have everybody. Penn says, woo, hello. And Toria also says gorgeous. So I think you have a few fans in the chat, maybe.
maybe my best friend of 16 years and their partner. No biggie.
That's, we need those cheerleaders in our corner. Everybody needs one.
Not only are they my cheerleader, they are also my cosplay handler, and I have now roped them into cosplay. So it's a full circle.
Nice. Always converting.
That's what you do. Yeah, we love going, oh, you're just hanging out with me. No, you're not. Put the costume on, bestie.
As I like to call it, it's positive peer pressure. Triple P.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. If they don't like it, we're not going to make them continue doing it, but we really do like when they end up liking it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you listen for those little things like, oh, I want to get into sewing, or oh, I tried once, and you're like, hey, you know what you didn't have that first time around? Me, I'll help you. It'll be great. And like you support people when you see the desire is there and they want to get into it. And I think that that is such a big part of why I love the cosplay community, because it's a lot of leapfrogging of yes, and please do it. Come join me. I'll help.
Yes,
Yeah,
especially
it's some, and some people don't know where to start. So having a friend that's into it does definitely help. Charlie Mann has also said, looking good as always, Eileen.
Okay.
And then you seem cool too, Hunter. That's what Charlie Mann said. Hunter's pretty awesome. I wouldn't have kept her around this long if not.
Yeah, I bring the entertainment to the house. So, but
I
talking about,
you're my space cadet bestie. You get a little
with the definition meaning a lot more than just
little spacey.
Little space cadet.
So, just to get us started, Eileen, since this was a topic that was something you wanted to discuss, how did you get started cosplaying?
So I always say that I started in my 30s because I started with intentionality in my 30s. Back in my 20s, I had a roommate who cosplayed, and I did like a cosplay, thought it was cool, but didn't know how to sustain it or where to go for that community. So in 2021, I got asked to go to Dragon Con with a bunch of friends, and I was like, oh, it's a con. People cosplay at those. I have a few theater costumes I can wear, and maybe I'll build something. And I built Vexalia from Critical Role. That's my personality trait. And I wore it on Saturday of Dragon Con thinking nobody was going to know who I was, and was out on the streets of Atlanta for maybe 15 minutes before two beautiful Critical Role cosplayers pointed at me across the street, yelled Vexalia, and I just melted instantly that anybody recognized who I was. They invited me to a Critical Role meetup, and I was thinking it was going to be 15 people. It was 150 people. And from there, I just was well, this is who I want to be. And it was just kind of love at first sight.
You definitely got indoctrinated quick with going to Dragon Con first.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And nobody in my party that first year cosplayed except me. So I was the only one in my group who even dressed up. So it was really kind of jumping in, blind.
Yeah. And you have some comments. First we had Kaylee says, hi everyone. Kaylee is become one of my good friends cosplaying around here in Memphis. And Penn says that they love your Vexus.
Thank you.
And Toria saying, LOL, thinking no one would recognize Vex.
In my defense, it is a character from an actual play D&D show, and I had no idea that there was such a fan base for the cosplaying of these characters that were kind of only in the mind space. And so it was fascinating to find out there was.
Critical Role has blown up, I've noticed, because when we first did our D&D episode, our guests, which funnily enough were our guests on our last episode as well. So the first time we showed you off was with them, and so you're the one right after them. So, but they wanted to talk a lot about Critical Role because they really enjoy it. So I've seen it explode over the last couple of years, seen it more and more in the con community, in the cosplay community, that kind of thing.
Yeah, we definitely keep outgrowing the spaces that we find ourselves in. At Dragon Con, we've now moved from, I think it's Hilton Stairs C to Hilton Stairs E. And if you know anything about Dragon Con, that's the biggest stair they offer. That's the Star Wars, Disney, Marvel stair. We have outgrown our stairs to now have to be on the stairs with all of these big groups because we're just that much of a force. We like to call it the critter death hug because we move in a big force of love.
Hey, you know what? We all need that, especially in the con and cosplay community.
Yeah, absolutely. More of that, please.
And Ryan Permisson says, hey, you guys, how are you? Cosplayer at 33 here and turning 37 this year. Cosplay is fun and very, very true. If it's not fun, you're doing it wrong.
Oh,
yeah. If it's not fun, it's not worth doing.
Right.
It's a hard cosplay is hard. And if it's not fun and enjoyable, don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really, I tell people, if you're not having fun with it, then you need to take a step back because it's a hobby. the word play is literally right there in the word. You need to remember it's not a competition even when you're in a competition.
Yeah.
It's kind of
and
you have to look at it from like little kids playing dress up. They don't care that there's 3 other, of the same character. They're just like, oh yeah, it's another one.
Yep. Yeah.
And it's the whole, if you enjoy what you're doing, you're not going to work a day in your life kind of thing. But like the opposite, where it's like, this is getting stressful, then you're not enjoying it. It has become a job. It's become work. And that's not what cosplay is really meant to be. Even if it is your job, like, again, like if you're enjoying it, you're not going to be working a day in cosplay. So
my sewing machine begs to differ when I scream at it sometimes.
Yeah, there's days you have to walk away from the sewing machine, or you have to walk away from the heat gun. And I've taken, this year I realized I started like doing the math in my head. I'm like, I haven't made anything for myself this year. And I kind of hit a little bit of a rut, but I've made stuff for other people. And now I'm finally getting back into my groove of making some stuff for myself. I'm like, wow, I've been a guest at a bunch of cons this year and nothing new has been worn yet.
Well, and kind of tying in with the topic of being an older cosplayer, I've set this time of night at like 9 p.m. where I call it pumpkin hour. And my friend and I, we work and pumpkin hour. And sometimes there's like that special night where you're feeling it and you power through for a little bit. But most nights it's like, oh, I'm not feeling great anymore. It's not making sense. And it's like, oh, look at that. It's pumpkin hour. Time to go to bed.
You kind of have to remind yourself mental health is more important than a new costume.
Oh, absolutely.
And
I do like this mantra real quick from Toria. It says a mantra I got from a friend that's gotten me through cosplay. And it says, hold on, I'm getting multiple messages. I release myself of the need to be good. This is purely for my own amusement.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Mm-hmm. We've said that a lot as we worked on our Bunny Hutch cosplays for Dragon Con this year because they are amusing.
I love seeing, I have not been to Dragon Con. That is the goal. I have not been. The Bunny Hutch costumes always trip me out because the creativity that people go from like doing the Playboy bunny and what they mix them with.
Oh my gosh.
Our outlet is amazing.
A Chell whose tail was Wheatley. Last year there was an Elmer Fudd who was hunting wabbits. There was a Rainbow Bright. Oh, there's all sorts of things. It's just like you cannot. Dragon Con's wild like that. They just pull things out of like the ether and you're like, oh my God, I remember that thing. And then they make them bunnies.
Yep.
And why not?
You can
absolutely why not?
Probably a bunny for it.
If you can't poke fun at yourself, why even do it?
Oh.
Well, so this year, I had this idea almost a year ago on a cruise ship, just like having a vacation with my father. And the idea struck me and I was like, what if we went as Sergeant Hefner's Lonely Hearts Club Band? So we were just the Beatles in their full regalia as bunnies and sexy.
That's
it's real dumb,
sexy
and I
bunny
love
Beatles.
it. Sexy bunny Beatles with like little like early aughts mustaches on sticks. And we all went full accurate like little page boy wigs styled out. It's delightfully silly.
I cannot wait. I can't wait for these.
I'm just still waiting. It's probably been done, and I probably just have not seen it yet. But like Beatles as Beatles, like somebody cosplaying as the Beatles that are cosplaying as Beatles. Like
somewhere
I love
like dads has to have done that, right? That feels a very.
That sounds like that sounds like the dad who doesn't quite get cosplay, but he's like, I get dad jokes.
Right? Yep. It's like the Beatles cosplaying as Beatles cosplaying as Beatles while writing in Beatles.
Oh, yep, there you go.
Your Inception, you're down like on that real deep layer in Inception. Where
I think that days.
We did have a question from Ryan, and he said, favorite comic book movies and why? Ryan likes to ask these kind of questions, and he also said you ladies should be on his show sometime. He has a show as well.
Gladly. I would gladly.
Ooh. I have one in mind. It's probably not what anybody was thinking, but my favorite comic book movie is actually Scott Pilgrim. because that movie translates comic book to film in such an effortless way. And the first time I saw it, it blew me out of the water. I'm obsessed with it. I plan on cosplaying it eventually. God, I love that so much. Edgar Wright nailed that.
I remember reading it before that came out, and you're watching it. It was practically page for page on screen.
Yeah. I love when they're like scanning the apartment and like all of the little things are popping up telling you like what stuff belongs to who. And like that's an actual page in the comic book. The text blocks and everything just pulled and it's so good.
Oh yeah. Hunter, do you have one?
Ooh, I'm like trying to think. I know like I have some off the wall. Wait, what do you think it is?
I don't know, because I know there's some you haven't seen. Because
I am behind.
She just saw Endgame for the first time on Free Comic Book Day with us.
So I kind of had a vendetta against like the MCU for a little while because after Ragnarok, I kind of like got mad at it, and so I just kind of just stopped watching like MCU films. But I feel like this is gonna be like an unpopular opinion, but I liked Ant-Man, and I feel. The first one. I haven't seen the second one, but it's like, and I think part of it is
it's kind of fun.
Like it just kind of like has like a soft spot in my heart.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The MCU needed that bit of levity too.
Right.
I'll admit, when they first announced Ant-Man, I was like, I wanted it to be Hank Pym because that's the Ant-Man I grew up on. And I was like, Paul Rudd is a superhero. I wonder where this is going. And then I was like almost bowing to the screen going, I apologize, Paul Rudd. You are an amazing Scott Lang.
And like the whole jokes with Baskin Robbins, I was just like, but this is so true. Like it's so sad, but so true. So it's just like, and I just love the like, because I mean we can get like the serious like comic book films and which are just good, but it's just like I don't know, like having it like kind of mixed up a little bit. I absolutely love it. So.
Okay, I'll admit. Okay, most people that know me know that I'm not a big Deadpool fan, and I have not been a Deadpool fan since he first showed up in the comics. Really, so it's not like it's just the movies or anything.
I'm quite the opposite.
But Deadpool and Wolverine was ridiculous.
I have not seen it yet.
Me neither.
I'm hoping still be in theaters.
I went with my brothers
because I'm hoping to go see it at TC. So.
When my baby brother goes, I have to see this with you. I knew it was going to be good because he's also like me, where he's not a big Deadpool fan. We're like, we don't hate him, but he's not like, oh my god, it's Deadpool, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, Ryan's popping in with lots of good questions. Ryan is good at the question game, guys. He said, one of your favorite fangirl moments at a convention?
Like when we fangirled over something?
Yeah. Any fangirl moment. Yours, theirs, somebody fangirling over you?
Anytime anybody approaches me at a convention and recognizes me from my Instagram, it is the most heartwarming thing. I love it so much.
Especially when they're little kids.
Oh, I mean, absolutely. I love any interaction with little kids. They're the best, especially when I'm like something kind of like slightly scary and they are like just fascinated instead of terrified. Oh, I love those interactions. I also love being like Starfire around kids because that's always a fun conversation. They're very interested in my lime green eyes. And Starfire has that like specific way of talking. And it's always fun to like kind of play with like kids and get them kind of involved and it's I don't know, I just enjoy that so much. I enjoy
it brings out the theater kid in you.
It does. I regret nothing.
No, not at all. Like the kids, like they don't look at you and they don't see, like we're talking about, age. They don't see size. They don't see, race, anything. They just see the character. They're like, ooh, that's a character I like, or that thing's shiny and colorful. I love it. I don't know what it is, but I love it.
But on the flip side, like I have found that in adults in at least my cosplay community. I walked up to a cosplayer at a con I was at like 2 weekends ago, and he was dressed as canonically my brother. And I was like, oh, brother, I finally found you. And he was like, you just jumped right into that. That's amazing. I just love that. I'm like, I love that the play of cosplay.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. Some of them are fun to do. Others, it's a little hard to find a character sometimes for some of them. because some of these characters are much darker. And I always joke that I pick these characters that are always like serious and straight faced, but I have a natural like smile on my face. So it's really hard to scowl and not look like I'm still smiling.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is a really cute moment from Toria. They said, favorite girl moment, the little Korok girl at Dragon Con last year. She had so many grown adults excited to solve her puzzle.
Oh, that's cute. I love that.
He had
I
laid
love
out
when the
like
kids are in
stones
cosplay.
on the ground and there was one missing, so you just had to put it back. And she would pop out from behind the like planter or under the staircase, and she would go, yeah, like very quietly, and she would hand you a little like starburst wrapped in like a little origami flower. And I've never seen adults line up faster.
Nothing like that to make us all turn into small children ourselves.
Right.
Mhm.
Oh, I fangirled over a little girl. She was an Apex Legends character, and I am trying to remember her name for the life of me because I have not played. I haven't played it.
You lost your mind when she walked into the cosplay
I
judging.
was so sad that she didn't come back because like she was my no, did she? She made
No, she never made it back. She
never made
didn't
it
come
back.
back,
She
so
was
you
my
had to pick a
judge's
different
pick.
judge's choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was Rampart. That's who it was. I'm pretty sure.
Mm.
But man, she was awesome, and she was like so into it, and I just absolutely loved it. That was my favorite, like me fangirling over
Yeah.
over like
You
another
got a lot.
I had an amazing fangirl moment over a voice actor. And for those of you who are gamers, I got to meet Steve Downs twice. Super, super nice the first time I met him. He like answered my questions, and like I came up to him a couple times and like thanked him and all this stuff. Well, I met him again about a year later, and he actually remembered me. And that was probably just like knowing that Master Chief remembered me. Like my life was made at that moment. Like
I was with her the second time, and she's just like, "Oh, you remember?"
what?
She's literally like, I'm like, am I about to pick my friend up off the floor?
Probably. That was the same day I cried after meeting Steve Burns too.
Yes.
That was another amazing fangirl moment, but it was a little bit more emotional. So
Yeah, we've had a few over the years. I've said this one on the show many times before, but still, this one was Hunter and me. Was literally Chris Claremont stopping his autograph line for us as the Phoenix and Shadowcat because he wanted a picture with us.
yeah.
And like the band that wrote the Dark Phoenix saga stopped his line for us, not the other way around.
I still love how he apologized to the whole line, going, "I'm sorry," because he was like telling us about like how he came up with these characters and all this stuff, and he like apologized to the line. The line's like, no, like keep it coming, keep it coming.
Everybody's like leaning in, like,
right?
tell me more.
Yeah.
Oh,
He was
They're getting a whole free like dissertation on characters.
mm-hmm.
We were
and
getting,
he approved my
oh my God, we were getting like X-Men storylines that never existed because it was what he wanted to write. And it
yes,
was amazing.
so cool.
So cool.
And both him
Okay,
and
so-
Robert Rodriguez approved my shoes for outfits, which is
Yes,
amazing.
he
It's
did.
awesome.
So back on the age thing, I know we cover all the topics when we talk, but what do you think is seen as a harder side of cosplaying as an over 30 cosplayer?
When I first started, for me, I felt like because I started in my 30s, I felt like I was running out of time. Like I had started too late, and all of these cosplays I wanted to make were stacking, and I'm racing to like try to meet this like impossible deadline. And then also it was that I felt like very early on so excited to be cosplaying and so in love with the activity, but also like a little bit, am I too old for this? Like, I know that this is, I feel like it's a younger person's thing, and like they're all in their like older teens and like, you know, 20s, and maybe I'm like the outlier here. Dragon Con helped a lot with that because like you see people of all ages cosplaying there. But I think it was my second year at Dragon Con standing in a group of cosplayers who I admire and just, you know, listening to them talk and watching them. And I was like, I know I'm not supposed to ask this, you know, question to a group full of women, but how old are you guys? And everybody in the group was in their 30s and beyond. And I was just like floored that I had found my people, and that I had found people who I could look up to, and I am becoming. And it was so like wonderfully grounding that like from that moment on, I feel like I've really been living my true authentic self, because like I feel like I've been given the permission to do so by other cosplayers who I admire. And that is really the sense of community that I had been looking for. And that's the thing that keeps me, being a part of it, but also wanting to continue to get back to it.
I think it's funny. I always joke. I'm like, we have to pay bills and everything now, but we have the adult money to do these things that we didn't when we were those younger people.
Sure do.
And like, I feel like, being called 30 and like older or old is just it doesn't make sense, because if you think about it, we're just like slightly older than a fourth of a way through a century, which if you think about it that way, like our number is still very small. And I think like people like, oh, well, you go to bed early kind of stuff. We work during the day. Like work.
I go to bed at 5 a.m.
I mean, I do too, but I'm not supposed to. But it's just like, it's just mentally and physically exhausting. Like that's why we're tired, not because we're old, but it's like,
we have more on our plates that can make us a little more exhausted.
Responsibilities. Like
we went to a meetup last year that is, I believe it's called Cosplayers 30 Plus. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called Cosplayers 30 Plus. And we showed up and they put all of us on the staircase. They took a picture and they said, 30 to 39, get off the stairs. And then they took a picture of the next, and they said 40 to 49, get off the stairs. And they keep going until they get to the like highest age group. And we were up in the 70s before we had to stop. And I was just like so in love with that, seeing these 70 plus year old cosplayers still having fun, still enjoying themselves, still being a part of it all. And it was just, I don't know, it's just healing.
Okay, my mom has always supported my cosplaying. I made her first actual costume right before she turned 72. I made it for her at the end of 2019. So 71, just before she turned 71, because it's the end of 2019. She turned 71 in 2020. So my mom was 70 years old the first time she put on an actual costume. Yes, she made me costumes, my brothers, my sister. She's the one that taught me to sew, but she never dressed up. I made her the fairy godmother from Cinderella, and that was the first time she stepped out and she did a volunteer event with Cosplay Memphis with us. And she was the fairy godmother. And I'm like, so it really has no age, because our friend Kaylee said, y'all are youngsters. And Kaylee's just a little older than me. I'm 41, and I am not ashamed to tell people that I am in my 40s. I never got the whole, shh, don't ask a woman's age. I'm like, I am proud of the age that I have reached so far.
You have like out and about, people think that we're the same age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm a little older.
Yeah. And people
you learned all those years of wisdom, and you're proud of them, and you've
she's
teaching me through life to get there.
It's got a lot of wisdom.
So I actually sorry, go
ahead, talk. I'll show this question in a second.
No, I was gonna ask if you guys, I do this thing, and I don't know if you guys do this thing as well, but I have like a scribble this down for like a someday cosplay, like writing down cosplays for like me in like later years, kind of like the fairy godmother. There's a character from Critical Role named Allura Vysoren, and she shows up across all 3 campaigns, and she ages across all 3 campaigns. So I'm like, I can cosplay her well into my 60s, and I'm so excited for that information.
My old lady cosplay is already planned, and it is the woman from Anastasia, the grandma.
My
I love it.
That is my plan. And then we have Hunter, and I have a friend, Kay, who is this little, like, okay, Kay is a year older than Hunter, but you would not guess it because Kay's like all of 5 feet tall and half Chinese, so they look extremely young. And Yu Yu Hakusho was always one of their favorites. So they're like, I'm going to do young Genkai now, and when I'm old, I can do old Genkai. I'm like, the costume will probably still fit because you don't change.
I love that.
I know that's probably how I'm gonna be. Is I'm just gonna still be wearing my cosplays into when I'm 70. Be like, I can still pull off Spider-Gwen. Like totally, it's a wig.
Not gonna lie. When I went to Disneyland with 2 of our friends last year, the youngest of us was 35 in the trio, and we were having way more fun than any of those kids. Way more fun.
Because you
So
don't
here's
need
the question.
You don't need masks. You get to choose masks.
Right.
Lynn asked, do you guys have any thoughts on how to improve how the cosplay community views 30 plus cosplay or changing the attitudes for the better?
I think that my knee-jerk reaction is to say that it starts with us. It starts with the people who are already here. Like, I know that I'm trying to incorporate this into how I present myself in the cosplay community, because I have had nothing but gracious, wonderful, amazing people in my journey so far. I want to turn around and be that for other people. And so I've met a lot of people who are like, oh, I thought about starting, but it's kind of too late. And I'm like, no, it's not. Let's talk about it. What do you want to do? What do you want to start with? How can I help encourage your goals? And I know that, it is bigger than that, but I do think that we are part of the solution.
Mm-hmm.
We have to stop stigmatizing our own age and go, oh, I'm too old for that. Because, it, like you said, it's so cliche, but it starts with us. If we act like, oh, I'm getting old, I'll joke, I'm like, I'm the grandma at the con. It's fine. I've got con kids who have con kids. So I'm technically the con grandma. But, we have to stop saying, oh, I'm too old or I'm the old person, and just remind everybody it's for fun.
And I've found this out like in the past couple of years. I feel like, this stigmatism and like the attitude I'm pretty sure that was the word that was used, the attitude, and then looking down on people. The sad thing is I think it happens more in the already formed community instead of like the outside community, because like I'll bring up to people, like I'm at the point in my life now, I'm like, look, if you find out that I cosplay, then I don't care. Like I'm done hiding who I am, kind of thing. Cause like I did it for so long, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna be full me. And so like I told coworkers before, I cosplay, and they're like, that is so cool. Like, and I think they just don't realize that, you can still do it. And I think just even bringing people in from the outside and letting them know, because like I've had them come up to me and be like, oh, so like I had a question, or like, hey, can you help me with my Halloween costume, and like stuff like that. And I feel like, helping the outside is going to help the inside, because if you're bringing more people in that are 30 plus, like that's going to help the community be like, oh, okay, I guess it isn't just for like teenagers. And I feel like today's like generations, not all of them, but there are several out there, especially the ones that are big into social and like that kind of stuff. Like they have such like an attitude, and they're just like, oh, that's not cool. And like that kind of stuff. And I feel like that's what people are saying, because that's what's showing up on all the For You pages. Like if you're not in the in crowd, that's not cool. And it's just
the social media narrative, I think, is where you get a lot of that negativity. Because people can hide behind a wall and not feel like
warriors.
They can't say it in real life, but they can say it behind a screen. And I think that a lot of the negativity and the bad narratives come from place. And to that, I say, like, surround yourself with positivity and good people and, good mutuals, and just kind of leave the rest, which is so hard to do because, it finds you.
And don't let it get to you. Like that, again, they're a keyboard warrior. They are behind a screen. They don't even have like the bravery to say it to your face, probably. And it's like, as long as you're being your authentic self, the best you can be, then that's all that matters. Because like I tell people, you are the only person that you have to live with 24/7, 365 for the rest of your life. And so you need to make yourself happy. And if this is making you happy, and it's not harming anybody, then go for it.
Yeah. And look, like I said, if people are worried about being called a nerd, I grew up being the uncool nerd kid, so it's not like it's new.
Right? Happiness.
So in conclusion, come sit with us.
Yes.
You can sit at our table. It's fine.
Yeah.
So we're just a little over the halfway point. Do we want to do our catwalk? Can you get up and show off your costume some, or are we able to do?
Sure. I do
can't sing like Kelly usually sings our theme, but show us off, girl. Look at
So
forget-
this is what I love to call fantasy athleisure. It was a pain to figure out how it actually exists. Also, the leggings have, you can't tell, but they have leaf patterns down the side. But yes,
You guys will get to see more of this if you go follow Eileen on social media. You'll get to see more of the detail work.
Where can I order one? Because I really love that outfit.
I would love to tell you where you could order one. You can't. You cannot order one. I wanted to order one because fantasy nonsense like athleisure was really hard to build. It's got cutouts in pleather. It's like got bias binding in pleather. It was
Making bias
audacity that
sucks.
got me
Making
through it.
pleather bias. Yes, it is Keyleth. That's who is.
Yeah,
Kaylee asked if you were Keyleth.
Yes, it's Keyleth from the comic book. So Keyleth Origins from the Origins Vox Machina comics. I have been in love with this look since I saw it, and I knew that I had to make it. So I just trusted the cosplay audacity, and here we are.
I love it.
Cosplay audacity.
And I'm a little biased because it's green, and I just absolutely love green. And like, I feel so like wrong not having my green background, but I'm not my parents, and they
That's
don't
what I'm
have
saying. Yeah, you don't. We both have a green background, and you
all
don't.
the people that don't have a green background. Why is it me? Could have been tripleting.
Okay.
We sure could have.
Okay, this is great. Don't ask me how I did it. I just did it. It was hard. Toria, you are right.
Has life.
Oh my gosh. Do you want to show off your costume, Hunter, or do we want to go to our pictures?
Oh, you know, I don't even know if I'm like, because earlier I was kind of like becoming the background, so I don't know. I might
blur a little bit. Y'all might get the free show, as we were calling it.
There we go. That was in focus.
Yeah. So I got the pinstripes, going on or whatever. The pink. So this is one of her older suits. This is
And I heard a zipper earlier. Does the hood zip for a full mask or?
So I have a mask, but I don't like wearing the mask because I don't have a mask shell just yet or facial just yet. Even though I have a 3D printer and I could 3D print myself one, but I will print everything else, but not myself a face mask. I don't know. So, but I do have one. But this is the one where
dangerous of you to tell me that you have a 3D printer.
Oh, put your orders in. I will gladly print.
She's like, "Hey, bestie, what's up?"
Hi.
No, this is the one where it's just the neck guard, and then like the hood just kind of like falls down.
It's got a separate zipper in the hood because I replaced
and
the
I
zipper
will
in that
say,
recently.
And I was about to say, I will say, if you ever need a zipper fixed, this one is like perfect for that, because I had a little bit of an accident one day, and my zipper.
Wait, when you're behind your friend at a con sewing like this right at their butt.
How many times have you had to sew my butt?
Yeah,
because it's like the very bottom of the zipper.
Asked about your suit. I know you didn't build it, but you bought it. They said it looks incredible. Do you remember where you got that suit? You've had it a while.
You know what? I want to say it was from Amazon, to be honest, because this is one of my first suits. And I know I've like bought from Amazon, Easy Cosplay, my costumes, but I think this one in particular was from Amazon.
I know you had that one. You wore that one when you first joined CPM in 2019, so you've had that at least 5 years.
And it's still looking good. I mean, like, don't look at the fingertips because I'm not gonna lie,
gloves wear out so fast.
No. But I mean, this definitely has held up well. And I have her newer suits from Spider-Verse 2, but it bubbles in the back, and I don't like that. So I'm either going to try to figure out how to fix that or just sell that when I get a new one. So that one I got off of eBay, though. And I think their sizing is as accurate as this one was. So
yeah, that one fits you. Like you actually made it to fit you.
I was about to say, this like is like a like an absolute perfect fit. It's like the Sister of the Traveling Pants, where it's just like it was like made for me. So but no, I want to say this one's from Amazon. So, but thank you. I would love to build one of her suits though, but I'm still in the learning phase. I have to sew with spandex first.
Yes, because she decided that the first thing she wanted to make was Miss Marvel Warbird, the black suit with the gold lightning bolt down the front. And we're going to do it in stretch pleather. It's cut out at my house. It's literally in that closet right there.
Yep. You
Look,
go.
go big or go home. So
yeah,
and
you
I
live
never-
in that cosplay audacity.
We do. That's what we do.
I'm probably gonna join one contest in my life. So this one's gonna
You
be
judge
out.
But like we always say, cosplay is better with friends. So
Yes.
Yes.
It'll be
Agreed.
great.
That's why Toria was saying they thought you made it because the fit is just.
Thank you. No, it's just
Right.
it's a miracle suit right here.
We're gonna go through some pictures because we have Eileen's gorgeous pictures of her. And then we also have our submissions. And thank you guys. We got like 17 submissions, which is great. Thank you for showing out as older of young folks cosplayers. So let's start with these, and you can just talk through them a little bit, Eileen.
Sure. So this is my Imogen from Critical Role. I'm pretty sure all these sentences are going to end with from Critical Role, but Imogen is a costume that literally, when the first episode aired, I went and pulled stuff out of my closet and was like, I have done it. I have made the cosplay. And it has evolved probably like 9 times since then. So this is the most recent iteration of her. And it is proof that there is always time for a version 1 and a version 2 and a version 3. So if you don't hit it on the head the first time around, you still get more tries.
You've got multiple chances.
As we mentioned earlier, Vex is my comfort character, my personality trait. I cosplay Vex because she gives me the confidence I don't always have myself. But she's also a ranger in D&D, and that's my favorite class. So I call this the rangeriest ranger of like ranger poses that ever existed. Honey and Heather Photography, who took the photo, is stunning, amazing, wonderful. Saw a puddle in the ground and was like, what if? And I was like,
We love creative photographers. God, we love creative photographers.
Because I'm a theater kid, as we talked about. So like creating a narrative with a photographer is like my bread and butter. I just want to do it all the time.
Oh yeah, I love that picture that you look at the camera and you go, that's it, that's the one.
Mm-hmm.
That's you. Even if no other picture turns out right in the whole shoot, you get that one.
Dragon the collie man.
All right. This one, I have gotten to see this one. Hunter and I saw this one very up close last year, judging this one. So y'all just know this one, like the whole.
I'm not gonna lie. I did not realize this was you.
I'm not blue.
I don't know what it is, but you just look so different. No, I get the same reaction to me. Now I'm actually on the other side of it. I love it.
It's the makeup, the wig, everything.
Well, the thing I love specifically about Cosplay Jester, which is that character, is that the little fangs and her just like personality, it always makes me smile. And like a lot of other cosplayers are like more demure or like a little bit more like, confident. But Jester's just like positivity, chaos, rainbow, hamsters, lollipop. And I think
love
that
chaos rainbow. That's great.
Yeah, chaos rainbow, lollipop. Oh, she's a chaos machine. But that's what I love about cosplaying her. And this and Imogen were kind of the cosplays that started me on my journey of learning how to do leather work. So that was exciting as well.
So we've seen this costume literally up close and personal. And like I said, just so y'all know, this won the whole shebang at NCX last year. So, and if y'all want, here we go. She sent us a couple of little up close shots.
Yes, a lot of these up close shots really detail the leather work and the resin prints, and were made for me by Yera Degas Wares. I think that's what his title is. But Yera taught me how to do all of the leather works that I did in this cosplay, and this cosplay would not have gotten done without his support and his help. And like, once again, just cosplay is so much better with friends.
Oh God, yes, it is gorgeous. Here's one more up close from that costume.
Oh yes, my 190 hours of hand embroidery.
Mm-hmm.
If I mention it,
someone would.
Yes,
I hate embroidery. So.
Oh man, it's my favorite. I love it. It's calming.
Yeah, I tried learning, and see, a lot of things for me learning were so backwards because I'm left-handed. So mom would try to teach you when I was a kid, and I'm just like, don't understand.
But we all have our like cosplay like thing that we kind of are good at or
Yes.
go to. My friend Astral Projection Cosplay does beading, and I have done beading, but it's like just it doesn't make sense in my brain. But embroidery does, and
Yeah.
they just started a project, and they were like, "Nope, scrapping the embroidery, going back to beading." And I was like, "We all have our thing."
Yeah, and that's
thing
why
is
you find people that work good with you and you can make things together.
Yeah.
Mine is either buying or really, really far-fetched goals like pleather. So,
Stretch pleather for your first one.
challenges is mine.
You just pull off badass characters very well. I'm just gonna say that.
Thank you. Thank you so
Oh,
much. The Wind was a paid actor in this photo.
Paid with
The
the
Wind
leaves.
picks up.
We love
just-
it.
Yeah, I could not have asked for a better little windy afternoon.
You need that drama. What is the point of having these flowy pieces if the wind does not help you out?
It's like a
I
huge
pray
one.
that I have submitted the photo that also screams drama, but yeah, I am all about the drama in the cosplay shoots.
Let's see. This is the next one we have.
This is me and my friend Astral Projection. So these are our D&D characters, twins, and we decided to cosplay them, and it was just such a really fun experience getting to realize them from the art drawn by our friend Toria. And they did all the art for our campaign, and so we took that art and then we made it into full-blown cosplays, and it was just a joy to like get to do this shoot.
It's so much fun doing original stuff because there's no set boundaries or guidelines for it. You just get to have fun.
Yeah, and it was art drawn by my friend, our characters. It was shot by my friend Steelwell Graphics, who is also a dear friend. And so like it's just a bunch of like friendship time that produces really pretty art.
We love it.
You know, you probably didn't mean for this, but just looking at this picture, my first thought was the bombastic side eye.
It's more of I was looking up into the sky and the sky was making my eyes water so badly, and this was as far as I could get my eyes open.
I love it.
We suffer for our craft.
We
Oh,
really
we do.
do. And so do those.
There it is. That's the drama. My photographer and I woke up at like 6 a.m, drove 3 hours to be the first people out at this waterfall, so that I could lay in a waterfall and just feel pretty.
I love it.
Well, the drama paid off because it is a stunning photo. It's beautiful.
I'm just
Yeah. No. And trust me, guys, we're going to post these on our social media so you can just go and drool over them all over again and go follow Eileen and drool over whatever she posts every time. So this is what you were wearing when I met you.
I would say I remember this one.
The leaves.
Yeah.
This is my business card. This is my everything, because it's the first time Jill Lane, who is my photographer in Memphis for a lot of things, is just like a partner in crime. And this is kind of the first thing that we went out and shot that was like a character that I was really passionate about. And when they gave me my shots back and I opened that Google Drive, I just remember having my breath stolen by everything because I didn't know that I could look that way and that my cosplay could look that elevated, and just like the perfect marriage of creation with like other creative people. And I just am obsessed with everything.
And I
I drooled over the cape when you walked into the judging. I'm just like,
how many leaves are on that again? Because I know it's like a ridiculous amount.
It's 3,400 because it's double-sided.
It's crazy. Double-sided, man. That's attention to detail right there. That is.
You don't want to not see the leaves when it swooshes back on the inside.
I will fully credit Yub Yub Commander made a video about their keyleth cape and how they were remaking it because it was only one-sided. And I saw it before I started mine, and I was like, bless you. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Is this the character that you like want to or have done like every season for?
Yeah. So this is my spring look. So spring keyleth with the cherry blossoms. The one in the waterfall was summer keyleth in the waterfall. Fall was in a sunflower field, and winter we got some snow here in Memphis, so I got to run out and get some photos in that. So I've done all 4 seasons, and nothing can stop me. I'm still making more key lifts.
Cosplayers are like, it snowed, let's go out and torture ourselves.
I have done that with Elsa.
Oh God, we've all done it. I made my
Snow.
brother go out and do a photo shoot for me one time. I'm like, I'm putting this on. This character is from a planet covered in snow. Get the cameras.
I love it.
And this is the last one of your gorgeous costumes.
Yeah, this is my Bunny Hutch Starfire. So we did the Teen Titans for our Bunny Hutch last year, and we lovingly called them, appropriate for this, our quarter life crisis Titans, because we're like, we are not teens anymore.
Not anymore.
Love it.
But this
That's
has been a great
so fun.
cosplay. I made it so I could take the bunny and the tail off, and I've reused it for everything from children's birthday parties to raves. So that's
Nice.
exciting.
All right, so we ready to look at all of our lovely viewer submissions?
Yes, it's my favorite part.
All right. This is my favorite part too. So this
Yes.
is look, this Gambit won my whole heart. Like, I've loved Gambit since the 90s, and you don't get people that really hit Gambit like that. But they did it.
Assorted Creates is amazing. They did some 3D printing for me, but all of their cosplays just have this intricate, beautiful detail prop work, and I'm so envious because I am scared of props, but they do such a good job.
Same. I go to my friends. I have my friend Dwayne does a lot of my armor and props, and my brothers help me. I'm terrified of building props. So anybody that does that along with making their costumes, little dad joke props to you. So,
And like all of this like smoke machine is like a practical effect. So like all of that smoke you see coming from the Gambit photo, that's all practical. That's not a camera, editing.
I went and followed them and just started drooling over all of their photos. Like, everything is just absolutely amazing work.
Yay!
Okay, this is okay. My family is a bunch of nerds. This is my oldest brother. So he is the John Wick. Like, he went to work like that Halloween 2020. My brother is a manager for Apple. He went into the Apple store, fake blood and everything. Now
I need more people like this in my office.
Okay, the Android 17. That's how he picked his son up from the NICU when he was finally released 2 years ago.
I love it. I love it.
You
so
can't
much.
see it on the small screen very well. The middle one is him being Freddie Mercury one Halloween.
Yeah, no,
And
I can see it. It's
I
great.
saw him from the back, and my sister-in-law every year at the Halloween party, she goes, just wait. And I turn around, I see him from the back. I'm like, this MFer is not Freddie Mercury. And he turned around. He grew the mustache just for the party.
Commit to the bit.
Right.
This is the one that my friend says, you have the other 364. Let him have the 1 day a year.
Yep, no,
So,
winning Halloween.
He
my
wins it.
biggest. He's the oldest of my 3 brothers, the second of the 5 of us. We're a big creative family.
Yep.
And then next we have Stephanie. She submits for us a lot. She has a ton of really fun cosplay. She always looks so cute and she has an abundance of cosplay to send us. And I love it. She does Disney, she does comics, she does Star Wars.
I know, such a wide variety.
She always looks like she's just having the best time. And that is what being a cosplayer, especially an over 30 cosplayer, is all about.
Yeah, I mean, doing what speaks to you and doing what makes you happy, because we just need more happiness.
More happiness, and I agree. Next up, our lovely friend Mark Desjardins, King Beast. And I mean, he's everything from My Little Pony to Jessica Rabbit to the Beast with his wife.
The Haunted Mansion portrait.
Yes, that's him and his wife. She's one of the guides in the Haunted Mansion, and he's the
cast
walker.
members. Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
Here's
I
the funniest
love it.
part. Instead of wearing like the ballet shoes, Mark literally wears a pair of Crocs with it.
Oh my god, that's perfect.
So good. It's so good.
It's the best. Like, I am not a fan of Crocs, but in this instance, they are amazing.
No notes. No notes.
And Mark, you are a hero.
And I absolutely
Uh-huh.
love cosplays like this. Like whether they're like traditional, like, you know, the Beauty and the Beast one, or they're just like quirky, like the Haunted Man. Like they're just so adorable.
And
like
I love Mark. Mark has told us that embracing cosplay has helped him find who he is, because you know he's very
Yeah.
much, yes, he is a man, but he loves the cross dressing, and so that is, he's embraced that side of him and being all these female characters. And
Well, and I think the only thing that, or not the only thing, but the main thing that reads from these photos, instantly seeing them, is the joy that
yes,
like radiates from all of these moments. And that's just so encouraging to see.
and it's so sweet that he shares this with his wife, and they are so
Mhm.
cute together, and they have some great stories in like their Beauty and the Beast costumes that he's told when he's been on the show before, and it's just precious.
I think the other thing it shows is like the confidence, and I think it goes more to what I was saying earlier, is like being, you know, not hiding who you are. Like, you know, I felt my confidence shoot up whenever I just stopped hiding who I was, and I was like, you know what, I need to embrace myself, or no one else is going to. So
Absolutely. I love all the encouraging comments, guys. We are reading your comments, even if we don't put them up on the screen. All of you saying that you love seeing these. You're happy seeing the other people so happy and how it's bringing them out. So thank you also for the comments, even if we don't show them. This is Alexander. He sent me all sorts. He had a lot of things to share with us.
Yeah.
He's a local Memphis cosplayer, and you know, he said it's helped him kind of find his community too. So I love that.
Sure. I love all of these like bottom right hand like light up masks. I'm not sure what they're from, but they look so cool.
Yeah, like, I mean, and you'll definitely be able to see these. We'll post everything on our social media so people can see them in fuller detail. Because sometimes on a screen, watching it on YouTube or something, it's a little hard, because when people send us pictures, we want to show all of them. And instead of showing them one by one, we do make these collages for us to show off. So just know we are showing you off. It's just sometimes they look a little tiny on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Katie. Katie is also a Keyleth cosplayer who has my whole heart.
The cat Geo is the greatest name. I love that.
Yep.
I love word play on words. Oh my gosh,
Yes.
I don't know why I could not say that.
Play word well.
God, Cat Geo, just that, I don't know if it's the one that I'm in question or not, but that staff is made out of like paper towel rolls, and it's so well done because it's like, it is so well put together that it doesn't feel like it's made out of paper towel rolls. It's light, it's easy to carry, it's beautiful, but it has so much structure. I love upcycling. But their Keyleth is amazing.
Is another
cosplay. You know, here it is. We're like, a lot of us are like the 80s, 90s kids that were straight up on the recycle, reduce, reuse. So we're all about the upcycling and reusing.
Oh, I love it so much. But
before
yeah,
I recycle like any cost or any cardboard, I'm like, but could I use that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hoarding for later.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. As an artist, oh yeah.
This is our friend Angel. Angel is one of our older submissions. Angel is in her late 50s and living her best freaking life doing this. We love it.
This is me every time you say
stunning, amazing, love it.
And the Leia that she has in there, the ceremonial Leia, she found that dress. It's like a dance, like a classical kind of dance dress, like a lyrical dress, in Goodwill. And she sends me a message. She goes, "What can I use this for?" And I went, "Ceremonial Leia."
Look, if that was my Leia photo, I would use that on everything. I would put it everywhere. It's gorgeous.
And the hair piece, part of it is her hair, the rest of it is a wig. It's like a wig piece, like a hair piece. And she made all the details. We love Angel, and her being a pirate is one of the most fun things ever.
If you see that wig in person, though, I could have sworn to you that was just all of her hair.
Yeah, and the reason I know it's not is because I know how short her hair is. And now here's a crossover, Valerie Meacham. Like, she messaged us that she knows you, but she's also good friends with Kelly and Crayleigh.
Yeah, I love Val. Val is, I've told her this recently. She is everything I want to grow up to be. I admire
She's
her
so talented.
So much. And not only is she talented, she is so kind and down to earth. And we sat and watched the the cosplay competition at C2E2, and just like that joy of getting to dissect costumes and like, oh, what's that? Oh, that's such and such, and they do this thing, and I love spending time around Val.
She's been on the show. I actually met her doing a panel for a virtual con with Kelly in 2020 or 21, one of those two. It was during lockdown. I think it was 21. But I love Val. Like, just like you said, the kindness, the talent, everything about Val is just amazing. And she said when she first cosplayed Rey, she was exactly twice Daisy Ridley's age when she wore her Rey for the first time. So she's like, age ain't nothing but a number.
It really isn't. And she is living proof. I love that so much.
Oh, she's next. So we got
Lynn's. Yeah,
These
this is Lynn's.
Love that Aloy.
And I know they asked me what should I submit, and I was like, you have to submit Aloy because any Aloy cosplayers out there are absolutely insane and talented and brilliant and amazing. But I just love, there's so much tailoring in Lynn's work, and I just always appreciate how much technical skill that she has in her work, and I'm always just kind of drooling over it.
I know. I look at these people, I'm like, I always go, I have talent. And then I look at some people and go, I gotta catch up. I feel this sometimes. I'm like, I look at them and I'm like, oh my God, you are just on top of being just stunning people. Their talent is beautiful.
More keyleths for the pile. So actually this, I love keyleths. I've collected keyleths. I love it so much. But this topographic knitting, that keyleth cape is all knitted. All of those leaves.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
They're gorgeous. And then all of their leather work is like hand stamped and hand tooled. And it's stunning. I think they won the Sustainability Award at Fan Expo Denver, which we love because reduce, reuse, recycle.
Of course.
Gorgeous.
At this point, I'm not going to know, the character as Keyleth, but as like Key Leaf, because like almost every single
all these leaves,
and they're just gorgeous.
It's her mantle, mantle of the Tempest.
You know what we need to do is we need a Keyleth Leafeon crossover.
Oh, I am down for this. Leafeon's my favorite.
I'm on board. Let's go.
Love this.
Absolutely.
The problem is on this show, we start coming up with ideas and that gets dangerous.
Yeah, our lists are already long enough.
Add it to the list.
I always add it to the list.
Mariah. Mariah and Javi.
And she said it's her husband and their friend, and they all started cosplaying in their 30s.
Yeah.
Love that.
Mariah and Javi live across the street from me, like very so close. And I was like, hey, come to Dragon Con. And they were like, all right. And they understood the assignment from minute one. And their friend,
dad sign?
Their friend is now Con Dad at Dragon Con. And he is just the sweetest. He makes swag in like excess because he loves interacting with the community at cons. And I just love these people so much. I just want them to come hang out with me all the time.
That's how I feel like our little community, the Memphis community, it's got some spots that you want to avoid, but for the most part, there's just so many that we just keep like pulling everybody into this giant pile of love and cosplay.
Yeah, and these two are like my local con buddies. These two in an astral projection, I'm always like, we're going to a con, let's go.
Yeah. You gotta have those. It's more fun to go to a con with somebody anyway.
I was about to say that's how you are.
This bottom photo.
I literally texted Hunter. Yeah.
This bottom photo of Mariah is a cosplay that I was like, I really want a bunch of people to do this group cosplay with me. And you know what? Having no knowledge whatsoever, Mariah said, yes, okay, absolutely. But not only did the cosplay, but did the theater kid thing and came in character. And it was just my favorite moment of our friendship.
That's awesome.
We love that. What's a cosplayer without a few cosplay besties?
Mm-hmm. Yes. I'm just collecting them like keyleths.
Yeah. I got to sneak into one of these pictures down there when we were Bell twinning.
Yeah.
And Kaylee said she doesn't mind me saying how old she is. Kaylee is 50, looking fabulous. We
never would have
love-
guessed because I met her recently, and we were talking
Yes.
about her finishing her Yasha so that we could shoot Bo and Yasha together. But also, look at that amazing Merida.
Yes.
Mhm.
Kaylee is fantastic, beautiful, the sweetest human in the world. And
Yeah.
Kaylee, you're getting your ego pumped up right now too. So just so you know, that's what we do around here.
Oh yes.
We got to lift each other up.
Like I said, I got to sneak into one of those pictures because we were bell twinning at the library con a few months ago.
Oh,
Going back to the question from earlier, you know, like how can we help the attitude towards like 30 plus cosplayers? Like doing this, like hyping each other up. Because
Yeah.
like we really mean all this. And it's just like, gosh, these are just the happiness. and just-
Especially when everybody thinks women are so catty towards each other. We gotta keep supporting
Right?
each other.
right?
I'm all about the sisterhood, okay?
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
Oh, yes.
This photo blew me away when I opened this email.
That's
Ruby Rhapsody.
stunning. Yes. Oh my God, I love that. Just everything about this photo
Everything.
is
The
jaw
color, the
dropping.
lighting, the pose,
Mhm,
like
mhm.
that is the I am in charge of everything pose, and you just go over there and sit down.
And Bo is
Just
such
as
a
a
deceptively
queen.
like Bo is such a deceptively hard cosplay to make because it's all of these soft materials, but they have to hold like a varying degree of shape and form. And they have done such a great job with it. It just flows so beautifully.
Oh yeah.
There's just everything about this picture just exudes power and confidence.
Mhm.
And you know what? If it's not real, honey, you're an amazing actor.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes that cosplay, you just step into it to feel that confidence, but
You
either
really
way.
do. I tell everybody I'm a huge introvert. I have a lot of anxiety. I put on a costume and I get to be somebody else that's not
Yes.
me for a little
Yeah.
while.
I know, like I changed to a completely different person depending on what cosplay I do, because like I really feel like I'm that character at times, and so it's like I almost like steal their confidence, like that character's confidence, and it just becomes me, and I just
Yeah.
love it. Like, oh, that's what this feels like. This is
Yeah.
great.
That's what not being an adult
Yeah,
with
and I'm like,
crippling
oh,
anxiety.
Oh yeah.
Okay, this one also just was stunning.
Oh, I
Oh,
love
they
this.
showed me this before they sent it in, and I love how they have managed to do such beautiful layering and how just light and ethereal it all still feels.
I love so many of the, especially the Far Eastern Asian clothing styles. I have been immersed in them my whole life. I love it because I love fashion. I love historical fashion. And anything like this just makes me drool. Because
Yeah.
I love it. Even when you use heavier fabrics, it just looks so soft and ethereal.
Glowy. Like
And I mean, if you start breaking it down, all of the gold on the red pieces, I'm like, I want to know more. Show me
It
how
looks
it's
rich.
done. It's so gorgeous.
It looks like she's like, and she's sitting on a moon. She looks like a goddess just
Mhm.
sitting there.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
I just saw this in the chat. This is Pen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I'm a huge fan of yours now, so
Absolutely.
it's absolutely gorgeous. Oh, it's just I love the tinkling sound of the metal on the mask. That's something you don't get in pictures. So to see that in person is always just.
I feel like wearing an outfit or costume or whatever like this just like really would make you feel like somebody else. Like just
It does.
Oh,
Because
One day.
the last costume I wore with my original cosplay partner, Rachel, were from the Korean Monwag Bride of the Water God. And we were in those flowing Korean robes and she had the long wig and I had the crown with, the ribbons coming off of it. You hold yourself differently in these kinds of costumes. You become that, like I was the water god. She was the bride. I always ended up the guy, but she's also a lot smaller than me. So it worked. But you put these kinds of costumes on, you really do. You feel transported.
Oh,
Yeah.
So, I haven't made one in 10 years. Maybe I need to attack a costume like that again. And feel that flow.
Do it.
I
I've got y'all. Y'all are my angels on my shoulder. Do it. Or the Emperor from Star Wars.
I
These
love Sarah Sponda's work, but specifically, I love that like the range of like Jester
Yes.
and Imogen and Beetlejuice.
Oh yes.
It's
We
so
love
much.
a chameleon.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it really is chameleon-like because sometimes they'll come across my page and I'll be like, wait a minute, shape changer. Just love it.
You start zooming in, going, "Do I know this person?" And then you're like, "Oh yeah, okay."
Oh, they're in chat too.
Oh yeah.
Okay, we have guys, we really also love that all of you are in here. We've run a little over time, but that's okay because we're showing all of you gorgeous people off, and that is worth taking a little extra time. Okay.
But also Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Thank you.
I mean, if you pop up in my house, show me how you are such a shapeshifter because
I know. I want some lens on this artistry.
And the jester is precious too. Like it almost has like this almost kind of Lolita look to it, but it's not quite.
Yeah, her 10th level look to have that like kind of layering of the skirts, and it does give a little bit of Lolita. Yeah.
And we have one more, and this is here.
This is Astral Projection, who I keep talking about. My cosplay wife, my work wife.
I absolutely love that.
Galadriel from the Rings of Power. I mean, I was in there zooming in on this up close picture, looking at this
hand
detail.
beating, like the dress was hand patterned. I was around watching, like, as I lovingly call it, the cosplay audacity, as she figured out how to make this dress like smocked or not smocked, but gathered in the center while still form fitting. And the absolute hours of beating that went into this. It's gorgeous.
Like everything about it is stunning, and it does look like it just walked right out of Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is it. Like if they need somebody to come and work for them, I think she's got a job. I mean, look at that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And this is, I mean, this is Rings of Power, so it's all of the newer stuff, and so they're kind of doing this on the fly. They're seeing it come out and go zoom in and enhance, and then just figuring it out, which is amazing.
I have done that. I've been like, oh, there's no reference pictures because this thing just came out. Let's make it.
Mm-hmm.
like, what is wrong with us?
Yeah, no, I'm just blown away.
That was our last submission. Thank you, everybody. They will all be put on our social medias, so everyone can continue to drool over them and go give these lovely cosplayers a follow because we do tag everybody. And I really thank you, everybody, for submitting them. This is my favorite part of the show. I love boosting other cosplayers up and seeing the levels and the progress and seeing all of my elder cosplayers makes me really happy.
Yeah, we kind of briefly hit on it earlier about how like you're not competing unless you are competing. Even in competitions, I feel like I've been in those rooms and all anybody wants to know is, how did you make that? What is that? Oh my God, it's gorgeous. It's just
I've made so many friends
to learn.
Like
yeah. And so I'm really happy that we do this section because like I found some people I want to go follow now. And I also hope that like the people that I love and follow now have more attention paid to them because of the beautiful work that they're doing.
Oh yeah.
And that's why Kelly Crayley and I started this podcast. In September, this will be 3 years. We started in 2021, and our whole goal was to put some positivity in the community. That was it. Yeah. We don't care if it's your first costume, if it's your 100th, if you've been doing this for a month or 10 years. We just celebrated Crayley's 10th anniversary. In May was 22 years I've been cosplaying. And I'm like, I've been cosplaying longer than half the kids I see at a con. They're not even okay. Mm-hmm. One of our lovely friends that has been on the show and we see at a lot of local cons, Carrie Bland, she was born like 2 or 3 months before I started cosplaying.
Wow.
So she just turned 22 and I have been cosplaying that long. But we don't care where you started, where you're going. If you do it all the time, if you do it once a year, we just wanted everyone to have a place to be showcased, to be talked about, to be given some positivity.
Mhm.
And
I
that's
just-
what matters.
I really say all the time that cosplay is better with friends, and that might just be my experience, but I think that
Yes.
I have had some of the lowest lows in my life, like right after I started cosplaying, and I have found a new lease on life. I have found a new community of people. I have learned how to be myself and love myself, and
Yes.
I just really owe a lot to this community that I have built. It's so hard to say it's all cosplay. It's so hard to say it's all my friends. Everything is kind of intermingled at this point, but it's my life and I love the way that it is. And I want to share that with others. So if you are watching and you're asking how to, get positivity and groups in this community, come to me. Let's talk.
Reach out to
make a
any one of
community.
us. That's
Mhm.
what we're here for. And, like I've told it many times on here, that cosplay was my therapy through 2020, through losing my house to a fire and then losing my dad to dementia. I used it and it got me through it. And yeah, I still have those bad days, but it's something I could use for myself and for others because of the volunteer work and everything. And somebody said, "Hi, this is Loki." This is one
Yeah, I
of
was
my
gonna point him out later because I saw him. He was just kind of doing that sneaky thing of I want to be in the camera, but I don't want to draw attention to myself.
Well, once it's not my cat's
Very
butt,
demure, very respectful.
Right.
He sometimes Loki weirdly being named Loki is my good boy.
It really is. It's so funny.
So for the last little bit, we're going to give you the full screen, Eileen, and we're going to ask you what your one big piece of advice to cosplayers, new or standing cosplayers. Just give us your one big piece of advice.
I think that it goes a lot along the lines of what Hunter said earlier. I think that cosplay starts with you being able to accept your true and authentic self. And if you love cosplay and it brings you joy, do it and leave the rest. Because if someone is not accepting of that in your life, then you probably don't need to be in your life. I have been really open about doing cosplay with the people in my life. And at first, what started off as has turned into, so I was showing the people at work and we wanted to know how you did this. And it's just really cool. Is that makeup? Is that, and the longer that you do it, the more you normalize it for other people around you, the more they can start to be their true and authentic selves and find the things that they love. And it's a hard and scary place to kind of jump in and say, I'm just gonna be, but take your space because you deserve it and you are worth it and you are valid.
Absolutely amazing advice.
Mm-hmm.
I like the last line, you are valid.
Mm-hmm.
You are very valid.
Before we roll our credits, Eileen, where can everybody find you on social media? Anywhere?
Yeah, on social media, I'm Rangers and Arrows on pretty much all the apps that have the social media-ing. And then if you're going to Dragon Con, you can find me there because I'll be there in just a short amount of time I don't want to think about. Crunch. Woo!
We love it. Don't do as I say, not as I do. Don't con crunch.
It's
Hunter, where can
really,
everybody
at
find
this
you?
point, it's just a few props.
Okay, you got this. So Hunter, where can our viewers find my lovely guest host?
Well, just like Eileen said, all the social media, you can just look for this name, and it is me. So I'm the one
And
and only.
for our people listening on audio, it's HUNT3RCH1CK. It's in the lead speak.
It's lead speak. I am a gamer. I've been a gamer for my whole life. So, and the fun fact is, Hunter, how I came up with the Hunter chick was that I originally was a hunter, but I main a hunter or a ranger in almost all the video games I play. And so it's just kind of I wasn't hunting anymore. So when you were like, she's a ranger and the rangers, and I'm like, I saw your name. I was like, oh, we're gonna become such good friends.
Yes. Yes, we are.
And you can find me anywhere, Media Rice, or anything with the Cosplay Cafe. You can also find Kelly and Crayley there and on their Phoenix Sisters Entertainment. They have gone from just being cosplay to entertainment. They have a lot going on between the two of them. So we are going to roll our credits. Thank you again so much, Eileen, for being on. This was absolutely great. I loved it. And I hope our viewers enjoyed us going a little over. 20 minutes isn't too bad.
It was worth it to talk about all of those excellent cosplays.
Yes.
Definitely. All right. So enjoy our exit credits. And good night, everybody.
Good night.
It's like